What's up? Welcome back home, our Honkai Impact 3rd. Today we're gonna continue the Act 5 of The Day You Vanish with the Stars. Alright, let's right to it. Schemes. Machinations. Setup. Alright. Are you happy now? Happy? You must be kidding me. Why? Why it still ended this way? With all the explosive disarmed, how come I failed again this time? Captain? Captain? Kongming. I stared at her blankly and somehow my eyes became sore. I'm back again. The same street, the same view. The laughter and peddling words seem to hurt my ears. And the blissful festive sight made my eyes ache. The murderer is somewhere out there, lurking in the crowd. Captain, you're hurting me. I just realized I'd been holding Kongming's hand so tight that her delicate hand began to redden. Sorry, I didn't mean it. I know. What happened? I didn't know where to start. When I finally fought my way through the crowd and reached Kongming, she was lying in her blood pool, gasping, painful, and urging me to leave. The killing dagger was right beside her, with its black blade fully bathed in blood. I saw blood welled from her fatal wound and tried everything to desperately stop it. I pressed my forehead, my swelling, aching head couldn't seem to shake the sick crimson of my eyes. Captain, are you alright? No, it's not the time to rest now. We must leave. Kongming, follow me. Wait, where are we going? I had no time to explain. The only thing that mattered was to take her away to somewhere safe. But, where's safe after all? Captain, is the Empire looking at yet another catastrophe? We must get out of here. Captain? She suddenly stopped. Captain, you must be exhausted. After all that's happened. Yes? For as long as I could remember, you always stood by my side through the most trying times. But it Hudo or the missing soldiers, you carried everything on your back and kept me in the dark. But you don't have to. I'll always be there for you and I wish to share your burdens. No matter what the future has in store, you can tell me when we can get through it together. No, you won't believe it. After all that's happened, I doubt I'd be easily surprised. I can entertain even the most ludicrous possibilities. But if I say I've been through what's going to happen many times, I'd believe it. Don't tease me anymore. I can barely make myself believe. How can you trust me so blindly? Well, wait lang. I just drink water. Wait. Okay. Well, I've never ruled out the impossible, but more importantly, I choose to believe you rather than what's logical. So please be open to me, Captain. Is there danger at the fair? Did someone plant explosives? Yes, but that's only the half of it. Too many eyes and ears here. Let's talk somewhere in private. I took Kongming to a quiet alley where we could observe the streets. Kongming, beware of the crowd. A moment later, a craftsman holding a black umbrella will pass by selling his lanterns. A lantern vendor? Yes, he changed the candle formula and replaced the wax with rock oil. Rock oil? Isn't it something highly explosive? Right. The special candle has wax at the top but rock oil at the bottom. Takes a while for the lantern to explode. Right now, these lanterns are around the city, and even some fitted at the Star Pavilion come from the craftsman. Is he planning to destroy the whole city? Just like you said, Someone is trying to sabotage the fair. And the lesson from the last time is to put out all the lanterns and evacuate the city. I finally said it. I wasn't sure if it's the right thing to do, but at least I wouldn't be alone this time. So you found the solution. Well then, what's the other half of it? Someone will try to assassinate you at the fair. I chose the words carefully, trying not to shock her, but to my surprise, she sighed in relief. Oh, that's it? That's it. You don't believe me? No, I believe you wholeheartedly, but assassinations belong to the lowest level of hazards in my book. You can't be serious, right? I'm no stranger to hired blades aimed at my throat. I've grown used to it. Kongming waved her hand and two men walked out of the shadow. Unlike ununiformed guards, they were dressed in festive outfits and could easily pass as ordinary fairgoers. Hidden in plain sight, the formidable shadow guards who only answer to the Grand Series. You've heard, Captain. One of you alert Rita now, and the other one stay here on close watch. Aye. The two returned to the shadow like they were never out in the light. The shadow guard should have been able to keep Kongming out of harm's way, but she was still stabbed the last time. Captain, are you sure the craftsmen will pass by? Yes, I'm sure. A parade boat carrying a several meter tall lantern slowly floated by, provoking many wows from the crowd. Weird. Why hasn't he showed up? It's about time. I say we wait no more and seek him out. Maybe something unexpected happened and stalled him. Something unexpected. In theory, everything that comes next is identical to what I experienced before. Why would he change his route? Shit, sorry. There's no reason for him to do so. Something must have happened. Something that messed up the timeline. I began to search my memory. I had a habit of noticing small things, but it proved to me very helpful this time. What's different this time? Difference lead to more clues, and relying too much on assumptions rather than facts doesn't end well. We should act now, Captain. Kongming, are you thinking? Yes, let's seek out the suspect together. No, you better leave it to the guards and return to the Imperial Citadel. I don't know. We can take this lightly. The best plan is to return immediately and do not give the enemies any chance. Putting the whole city and its people in danger while I hide in a hole, this is not my way. I know you care about the citizens, Kongming, but now is not the time to play the hero. You're in great danger and our enemies are lurking in the dark. You could die any minute. Only my life matters and the thousands of souls in this city do not count? I understand someone is trying to take my life and that you're doing everything to stop it from happening. But to capture the craftsmen and protect the city are the weight of my crown. With my people in grave and imminent danger, how can I possibly put my heart at ease? I appreciate everything you've done, but please respect my duty and conviction. Besides, I still have you by my side. And you once promised to stay by my side no matter how hard it is in the Hudo battle. Hudo, I now ask you to fulfill your promise, Captain. Kongming reached out her hand. Dot. After long hesitation, I took her hand. I'm not leaving you to act alone, so this time, I'll give it all to ensure your safety. I'm counting on it, Captain. Let's go and meet the lantern peddler. Oh. Shit. I have a runny nose. This is a problem. I can't speak clearly. But even though... Focus. What is different? They're all wasting. Muddy footprints? Let me ask around.
焼き魚美味しそうに見えるけど
Let me ask
遠慮
around
する
when
わ
I'm playing.
ついてきなさい
Excuse me, would you happen to know anything about these muddy footprints? These footprints?
勝手
They're
に止
from
ま
a
らないで
landed
ここに
vendor.
長居してはいけ
He
ないわ
left this when he suddenly came out from the bushes. I knew it. Oh, wait, what the fuck? I'm still lagging! Right.
あちらかしら
Fuck is lag!
走るヨが新たに研究した陣形を試さないの彩風よ転覆雲水これくらいかすり傷よついてきなさい
Ah! Muddy footprints? Let me ask around.
勝手に止まらないで
Hi
こ
kid,
こに長居してはい
the
けない
lantern
わ
seller did pass me. But he was
何を見
kinda
ている
weird.
の安心して
He was in such a hurry that he wasn't even chanting.
あちらかしら
Oh. I'm trying, okay? Muddy footprints. Let me ask around.
焼き魚
Sir, do you know
美
where...
味しそうに見える
I'm
けど
looking for that
遠
lantern
慮する
seller
わ
too. He knocked over my syrup cauldron.
勝手に止ま
He
らな
gotta
い
pay me
で
back.
ここに長居してはいけないわ
All clues gathered.
たまには
Looks
徒
like
歩
the
で進
craftsman
む
did
のも
go
悪く
this
ない
way.
わね素晴らしい戦いだったわ帰ったら祝杯をあげましょう
Aww. I took at that lalat. Kongming and I took the stairs up. According to the vendors, the craftsman is up to something. Noise from that side. Over there? Behind the corner. We found the craftsman. What? Aye, there we go. With his back facing us, he knelt down to finish the man lying on the ground with his dagger. The man on the ground was powerless and ready to meet his end. Stop! Kongming hurled her fan at the craftsman's head. He sidestepped to evade and stood up. I found the dying man to be the shadow guard sent to alert Rita. Huh. Looks like everyone is here. Uh-oh. A few rounds later, Kongming drove the craftsman into the corner. He suddenly burst into eerie laughters. His human skin mask cracked and revealed a more disturbing mask underneath. Who are you? I'm faceless and nameless. You tried to murder my shadow guard and spread explosive lanterns in the city. What are you up to? He didn't even try. He did kill him. If I let this messenger boy through, I'd be the one lying on the cold ground now. The craftsman took out a lantern, and I knew it's meant to be a distraction for him to escape. Kongming, stop him! I picked up a stick to deflect the lantern, while Kongming darted ahead and knocked the dagger off his hand. Though cornered with no way to run, the craftsman remained unusually calm. I suggest you surrender yourself and save us the trouble. Kongming signaled the shadow guard following us to come forward. We outnumber you 3 to 1. The odds are hopeless against you. Well, I beg to differ. Something came from behind. Without thinking, I put myself behind Kongming and blocked the attack. I heard the sound of my flesh rent open by a blade. Blood spilled out but I almost felt no pain. Every bit of me was focusing on the dagger. I remember the dagger, the one used to stab Kongming the last time. You betrayed Embrya and it's punishable by death. So what? Oh my fucking god. The Shadow Guard lifted his mask and revealed the black mass underneath, identical to the Craftsman. Now the odds have turned against us. The Craftsman might be easy to handle, but the Shadow Guard. Are you alright, Captain? Just a scratch. No worries. I'm leaving my back to you, Mr. Assassin. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm in huge trouble.
皆の者、出陣よ。
Impressive.
焼き魚。
Now try
美味し
this.
そうに見えるけど、遠慮するわ。
You're a bitch! Okay, this is taking way too long.
災いを消し去れ。
I got it. Even if I'm laggy, I got it. Fireworks. With all his shurikens deflected, the craftsman took a fatal blow from Kongming and went out. The Shadow Guard's unexpected moves took Kongming and me by surprise and proved to be difficult to beat. The stabbing pain intensified, and I felt strength draining away with cold sweat. Your partner won't be able to help you now. Life is death, and in death we live. Such is our destiny. Kongming dashed ahead to strike the Shadow Guard's heart, but he pulled the craftsman's body to block the attack. Hehe. Shielding yourself with your partner's corpse. I wonder how would he feel if he came back to life. Heh, I believe your partner would gladly block for you too in his death. The Shadow Guard flashed behind Kongming's back for a lightning fast slash. Ugh. Captain! I block it. Don't worry. I'm fine. You're distracted. You have a weakness. You can't beat me. We'll see about that. It was then I realized the dying shadow guard on the ground was missing. The cold, black dagger came again at Kongming. I meant to block it, but my body felt heavy and clumsy like a rock. That's enough! The shadow guard froze as Rita's sight had come less than an inch from his neck. Scores of guards approached. The shining spear tips around him meant any rash move would forfeit his life. You have lost, traitor. Who's your master? Heh. I'm doing no one's binding. My mission is to correct. Poison in his mouth. The guards came close to clump his mouth open, but it's too late. You reap what you sow. No escape from consequences. With a final grim laugh, the shadow guard lost his breath. Sorry, Your Majesty, I came late. I was making preparation for the prayers. If not for the gravely wounded shadow guard who came to alert me. You came at the right time. The wounded shadow guard? So he fled while we fought the maskmen and warned Rita. The guards carried the two bodies out of the alley, and some of them stayed to address my wounds. The wounds are patched up. Thank goodness they missed the fatal parts. But Captain still needs to visit a doctor. Are you alright, Captain? Just some stings. Don't even hurt. Alright. The lancers at the Star Pavilion have rock oil inside, Rita. Rest assured, Captain. All of them were put out and the explosives were cleared. Teresa-sama is evacuating the city. I prepared a carriage for you and Her Majesty. Good. Captain, can you still walk? Don't worry for me. I'm a tough guy. Kongming spoke no more and quietly helped me get on the carriage. It just occurred to me that the blood stain on me might startle everyone. Seeing their former Grand Series in such a sorry state might cause a public panic. That can be taken care of. We can stop by the tailor's shop and buy a new dress. It's right ahead. I see. The lanterns on the street went out one by one. Guards rushed around leading the panicky citizens to evacuate. This is irritating. My nose is irritating, fuck. Luckily, the tailor's shop was still open. Rita came back to the carriage with a new dress in hand. Could you excuse yourself for a moment while Her Majesty changed inside, Captain? Okay. Huh? Of course. Your Majesty, please allow me to change for you. No need, Rita. I'll do it myself. And just wait for me outside. Will you? The curtain was drawn and Rita got out of the carriage too. Thank goodness Her Majesty and Captain sent the shadow guard to warn me. Or else the city would burn now. Is he alright? The doctors are tending him now. But the hasty run worsened his wounds. He may never be a shadow guard again. For his loyalty, I would ask Her Majesty to grant him fortune and status. He deserves this. Yup, he deserves that. Our hero for the day, the wounded shadow guard. But Captain, how do you know there is rock oil in the lantern candles? Was about to explain when a huge explosion came from the building behind and fire sprang at us. Rattled by the sudden boom, the horses began to charge ahead like mad. My hand acted before my brain and grabbed one of the beams of the carriage, but only to be flung off soon. Kongming is still in the carriage! You two, block the carriage! Kongming, get out of the carriage now! Behind me were burning houses and people crying for help, while in front of me the carriage ran wild and far. It's on fire! The fire is too big, not enough water. Guards, spread out to fight and fire. What? And send a team of 4 water. We must stop the fire getting to the fireworks shop. Let's get to the carriage. Captain! The carriage left a path of chaos as it trampled across the city. Residents fled their burning houses in great panic. Too many people here. The disoriented crowds began to slow us down. Rita leaped onto the roofs and began to pick up her speed. Through the fire, I saw a black figure with a black umbrella blocking Rita's way. The law of consequence bends for no one. You're trying in vain to stop the inevitable. Get out of my way! The swinging sight passed right through the man and he vanished in a puff of smoke. Grand Chancellor, the carriage is running out of the city. Don't lose it! The roads look messy. The carriage may have lost control. Some wood chips. Maybe the carriage hit a rock here. The carriage should be right ahead. It took us long to finally find the carriage. The wounded driver was lying on the ground, and the horses broke loose. Seems like it rolled over at the hill and took heavy hits. The driver is dead. Wait. Fear grasped me by the throat and I couldn't breathe. Rita, have you found Kongming? She's not in the carriage, and not around it either. Maybe she escaped before the collision? Let's keep searching. Her Majesty couldn't be far off. Please be safe. Please be safe. Please be safe.
信頼していただきありがとうございます。
Look for traces of Kongming. Please be safe.
ご安心ください。
This dark red
団
liquid.
長様は私がお守り
Is
し
it
ま
blood?
す。招かれざるお客様です。
はい。
やっ
Sorry for the lag. I will try my best to buy a new RAM, guys. Just bear with it for today. For the next videos. This pendant looks exactly the same as the one of our magic. Looks like we are heading in the right direction.
招かれざるお客様ですね。
Come at me!
お目覚めよ、競争の主よ。
I hate this freaking lag! This is Her Majesty's hairpin. Oh, burp! Fireworks. Too quiet. The dark woods were deadly quiet, and the deeper I reached, the more eerie it felt. Kongming! Kongming! No reply. No one but us two in the grove. Here, a fan! That's Her Majesty's. She bought it from the fair some years ago, and she always keeps it around. Her Majesty should be very close. The blue folded fan with gold trims in the bamboo skeleton. The embryo on the fan was clearly Kongming's writing. The night sky was suddenly lit up by the stashed fireworks. The bamboo grove became bright as day for a second, and in the short second, I saw. More fireworks bloomed in the sky and embers fell like shooting stars. Everything became clear. Kongming? She was leaning against a rock and gazing up into the sky with the fan by her hand. She felt cold, and the light in her eyes had gone out. Kongming, wake up! Can you hear me? Wind rose, bringing the rhythmical fireworks, explosions, and cries for help from the city. The night sky became a massive garden filled with dazzling blossoms of fireworks. Light blinded my eyes. The world went still, and my blood was frozen. Ah! Coming! Coming! Captain, please stop now. Her Majesty can never answer you again. No, this can't be. Darkness devoured me. No light in my world. Nowhere to run. I was completely lost. Tesla Zero. I stumbled ahead, but no matter how far I ran, the future I longed for remained a mirage I could never touch. My body became heavier and heavier until my legs defied my will to move. But I can't stop yet. Not here, not now. Tap switch area to go to the final chapter. How many days are there? Oh. Oh! 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 I'm back. What should I do now? Think. Think hard. Explosions. I must stop the explosions. I don't know what caused the explosion. I have no time. At least I could stop Kongming from getting into the deadly carriage. Kongming, follow me to get out on foot. We can't stay here. There will be explosions. Help! I couldn't move my leg now. Teresa? Why would she be here? We need to help her. Stay here. I'll go help her. No one is dying on me this time. The supporting pillars are about to give in. Come out now. Watch out, Captain. What? This is Rita. I don't know if this is Teresa or Kongming. That. I lived this time, but they died to save me. Fuck! What can I do? How can I change this bloody fate? What if I tell Kongming to get into the carriage earlier? Space-time anchor located. Tesla Zero charging. Charging complete. Initiating transfer. Yes, I can tell her to get into the carriage before the explosion. Run! Don't look back! This time, I decided to stay by her side. The horses weren't rattled, and the carriage left the city uneventfully. Until we got into the bamboo grove. I heard the carriage rustling the bamboo leaves, and covered by the rustling was the swooshing of arrows. I got in front of Kongming to block the arrows. That's the only way I knew to protect her. But one arrow still flew past me and hit her. What the fuck is this? How can we save Kongming? Shit. Even for someone who experienced no small amount of impossible, I still find it beyond belief. It's simply uncanny. Like the enemy knew there would be this tiny opening exactly at this exact moment. I've failed again. Space-time anchor located. The Tesla Zero charging. Charging complete. Initiating transfer. How many more times must I try? I hate to see Kongming suffering. Fuck, I can't look at this. I began to realize that some intangible force was holding me back all along, but I didn't know what it was. It's like I was fixing a leaking umbrella. One hole was patched up and another hole began to form. I was playing a game that had spun out of my control. If I could somehow get the whole picture from a high point, there might be a way to beat the game. But I was hopelessly trapped and had to play my part in the game. Yes, instead of the player, I'm merely a pawn on the chessboard. Who's playing this game? Are there other observers? Would they feel bored when the game has come this far? They might be able to see in a glance the ending that I have to take thousands of steps to get to. I don't know how the story ends, or if the story has any ending at all. I nearly forgot initially my purpose was to return to Hyperion, but it doesn't matter anymore. Fuck's sake. If there are observers watching this game, what would they say about all the things I've done? His stupidity is off the chart. How could he fail such a simple task? If I were him, if I had done that, things would turn out differently. Why can't he save everyone? Sure, they won't approve of me, and they have every reason to do so. I finally realized that I am not the Mr. Assassin who could make everything happen in your eyes. You put your faith in the wrong person, but I failed you. Wow. Oh shit, they're so fast. You guys can read it. What's... See? It's so fast. Please, Mr. Assassin. Tesla Zero rebooting. Warning. Warning. Initiating system. Wake up. Restoring speech module. Automatic stage. No operation needed. Okay. It's not COVID. It's not COVID. Oh, wait, what? Ha! I've experienced the future with you, but I have never witnessed your past. At that time, you chose to shoulder that distant other just like what you are doing now. You have been forced to repeat the past over and over again. But you have never forgotten your pain. And I have finally come to your past to give your arduous journey through your world fragments a starting note. Cry if you feel the pain. Just like a toddler, let it all out. Don't fear your pain. It saves you from something even more horrible, numbness. It's because you no longer play a part yourself. You only observe now. Like me. Watching the horrors that you've undergone. But if you wish to understand humanity, you can't just be an onlooker. You have to stand right next to them and try to see what they are looking at. That was what you told me in the distant future. Now I try to stand beside you. What do your eyes fell upon? If there are other onlookers at this moment, they must be expecting something of you. They expect you to bypass even more tragedies until you a happy ending where everyone is safe and sound. They do not know or care about what you have been... What? Shit. Need to read faster. Fuck! But what you have lost and found time and again are little more than tall tales. Shit. But is what they believe the truth? This story is not about deliverance. Its ending is constantly being modified and new reefs emerge, and you are the only one who keeps trying. and relieving the pain. Persistence alone won't help you accomplish the impossible, and miracles won't happen merely because you believe so. We both know that. Even if your strive for it still beyond your current reach. But here I am, offering you an opportunity to break away from the hopeless situation, which is the meaning of my existence here. I'm gonna replay this against the current. I'm gonna replay this without me talking. Okay, solution to the insoluble. Are you alright, Captain? That. Hug her! Hug her! It's Kongming's room. Where did I wake up the last time? After my many times of teleportation, it's taking longer and longer for me to regain consciousness. But I'm getting close now. At least I could make sure Rita and Teresa won't die for the last few times. Oh, that was Teresa who died. Almost there. Only have to keep Kongming alive now. This time I'll... Captain, you passed out all of a sudden, and I couldn't wake you up anyway. So I told the guards to carry you back. Why would you do that? Why didn't you listen to me? What? I told you if I pass out, you had to wake me up on the spot no matter what. If I tried but you were like a rock, it took too long and I became worried. What time is it now? How much have I lost? The paths and conditions all changed. Forget it. Do as I said. Take the alley behind the sugar figure stand. Stay 5 minutes in the textile shop before... Why? Don't ask why. Just do it if you wish to live. Captain, did you have a nightmare? Enough talk now. You should rest well. I'll have the handmaiden bring an ice pot to cool down the chamber. She took a towel to help me wipe off the sweat. Don't touch me. Rude! Stop looking at me like that. I came back and it means I failed again. I couldn't take it. I can't bear your eyes. You're expecting eyes. Mr. Assassin. I'm not your Mr. Assassin. The Mr. Assassin in your memory can do everything. But you know how many Shinsei nights have I been through? How many times have I watched you disappear? I'm afraid. Afraid to meet your eyes when I wake up again. Afraid to run into another dead end. I want to run away from this. But where to? Running is a choice I don't have. What am I saying? Why am I saying this? Did I say this to her before? You have a choice. You can always give up and shake off the nightmare. No! Without me, Rita and Teresa would still take good care of you. You could erase me from your memory and live happily. Live happily. Without you? If you give up now, I'd never hold any grudge against you. I never did. In the distant past, if it wasn't for you, I'd have died in the woods. But I know you can possibly stay by my side every step of the way. I need to rely on myself and become stronger. Then you showed up again and warned me about Hudo. You risked your life to distract Hudo for me. You found the missing troops and you sent the table for the three kingdoms to cease fire and reach a deal. You found the connection between the explosion lanterns and the craftsman, and the traitor among the shadow guards. Oh, anyone could have done this. It's you who saved me from certain death time and again. You still have no faith in yourself after everything you've done for me? Yes, every time. You could only take one small step ahead and make one small change. But it's not a gigantic mistake to admit defeat and deem yourself worthless because you haven't reached the final goal. You don't have to comfort me. This is no excuse for my failure. I refuse to see it as a failure. How many times now? How many times travels? I've lost count long ago. I answered this question without thinking and immediately realized something was wrong. Miss Ironface, you're awake? After a moment of silence, Miss Ironface spoke alongside the electric buzz. She yawned deeply, jumped out of the giant palm, and adjusted her glasses. Good timing. You're still alive, fortune teller. I have to warn you though, you'll never be able to reach the future you look forward to if you tear me apart. Fortune teller? Oh, Skipper, you're here too? She sounded arrogant and funny, but in her cold and mechanic voice, I sensed a trace of emotion. Never mind, it would take less time to search the records myself. I've been running on low power, but the background modules were still functioning and keeping records. Are you serious? You've written the past this many times? You're the biggest tryhard I know. I would do that many times because I play a lot of what is this called? That's right, Otome games. I've played a lot of Otome games and I played a lot until I got all of the endings and the choices. So I'm a biggest tryhard. Oh, don't get me wrong. I mean the future you who set the threshold number of consciousness mapping. Threshold number? Future me? Wait, what are you talking about? It's all calculated. You left me here to point out the direction for you when you're desperate. But the wake up is conditional. The future you set a threshold number of consciousness mapping to trigger my wake up. So, you're the final insurance the future me left? Correct. But if somehow you give up before reaching the threshold, I'd still be asleep now. But why? The future me should know better than to trust me. He set too high a target for me. Also, the overseer is the future you, Captain. Ha! That's him being naive. He somehow still believes the past him who has failed so many times can still make it. He expects that you can find a completely different path than his. However small the chance is, a different path. What? That sounds super lame to me. Only an idiot can come up with that. I'd say it's very characteristic of you. Miss Ironfist, maybe you could explain to us everything we've been through now? Everything? It's all started with the 3 years when Fortune Teller was away and Hudo broke the seal. The ruins were damaged and the golem the wish granted too. But instead of being disabled completely, it went into hibernation. As a compensation mechanism, a self-driven management program was activated to act in its stead. Self-driven management program, is it? Yes, it's the true enemy that has tried and succeed in eliminating Fortune Teller on every timeline. But why does it hold such strong hostility against me? It's the golem that granted me immortality. Why would the program act against its will and try to undo the wish? Remember what I said? Things began to fall apart in the 3 years you were away. At that time, you were not in this world. Before your return, the program had indexed and archived the profiles of everyone who'd been granted a wish. Thus, you became an anomaly in the system, and unidentified individual not meant for this world. And the men in black? They're mass-manufactured agents to enforce the Directive Erase You. Directive Erase You. Okay, the anomaly from the system. It's beginning to make sense now. The assassin reminded me of someone serving the last Corsair Queen in Jormungand. The man who addressed himself as the messenger. He should have died in the fray for the Jormungand throne. Huh? If my calculations are right, that is simply an improvised play to distract attention. He is probably the incarnation of the pre-hibernation golem to roam freely in the world. In contrast, the men in black you met were simply mindless machines to execute the elimination order. If you told the truth and the program's goal is to wipe out Kongming, then why would the Corsair Queen, Arch-Imperator, Rita, and Teresa also die on the timelines I've traveled to? For the program, everything in this world is but data. In eliminating the anomaly containing collateral damage to other data is not a priority for it. Of all the endings, isn't there one where I can live? No, not in my simulations. And the skipper's experience is also factual evidence. The thing is, the program's directive is binary. If it deems it impossible to erase the anomaly, it may resort to the ultimate solution: reset the whole world. What? This is ridiculous. Ridiculous? Well, the golem in the ruins is ridiculous enough. Have you ever thought about it? Maybe itself is the greatest anomaly in this world. Huh? Never mind. You wouldn't understand anyway. That's enough explanation for you. Let's focus on the problem at hand. Is there really a solution? You said it before. The program will not rest until it achieves its goal. No, Captain. There's a solution. What? Fortune teller, you're smarter than I calculated. I didn't expect you to be able to think outside the box. The only way to keep myself alive is to leave this world, right? Leave? You're saying I should bring her on board Hyperion? That's the only way. Fortune teller leaving this world would count as mission accomplished for the program. But can you really do that? What exactly are you? There seems to be some misunderstanding. After all, I'm but a man-made item, and at the cost of your consciousness mappings is all you. Me? Until now, you have not yet grasped the true nature of the Hyperion sailing on the sea of Quanta. Built by your memory, it's the manifestation of your power and the path leading to tomorrow. I'm not the game changer you wish me to be. I'm merely left here to help you change the game yourself. What's mission impossible for you now might be possible for the future you. The one who built this timeline loop and set the past self into the future is you. That still makes me a pawn on the chessboard. But the one playing the chess game is also me, the future me. Yes, the game is meant for the future you to beat the ill fate in this world. But you were not made into a pawn by anyone. Instead, you chose to be part of the game willingly. But if you wish to understand humanity, you can't just be an onlooker. You have to get close and study carefully. You said this to me in the distant future. And that future is built by both you and the future you. You keep saying there's nothing you can do, but you've only been doing one thing: to return to the past and walk back into the darkness. That's the only way to reach the light. You chose to throw yourself back into the darkness, time and again. Once wasn't enough, so you tried 10 times more, hundreds of times more. It's your tireless attempts that awakened me. You chose to become the future you. You chose this future. I see. Good. But before you fully understand the nature of your power, you won't be able to travel across the bubble universes. Eh? That's what I'm here for. To stabilize and amplify your power. Fortune teller, what's on your mind? It doesn't seem like I have a choice, does it? I've never wished to rule Embrea to begin with. Duty and honor pushed me to the throne, but if I had a choice, I'd rather become an explorer roaming the realm. Thousands of years can turn anyone insane. If not for Rita, I'd probably be known as the Mad Empress now. Kongming. According to Miss Ironfist, this program would stop at nothing to eliminate my existence. I've watched this world for 1,000 years, but still, there are views here I'd like to see again someday. Leaving this world is the best thing I can do to protect it. So you made up your mind. But Rita, I know what's on your mind, but even with my amplification, Skipper cannot take 2 people away from this world. The enforcers of the program may find you anytime. Time is running out. If you can leave before the program intervenes, Embrea will still be able to enjoy a wonderful night. Ha! Looks like I'll miss the fireworks show tonight after all. Oh. Kongming and I gently pushed the door open and found Rita taking a nap by the desk with scrolls and a pen beside her. Kongming stood by the door for a long while and eventually took a woolen blanket to cover Rita up. She stood beside Rita and quietly watched her. We're not waking her up? Shh! Kongming reached out her hand, but eventually took it back. This will suffice. She watched Rita intently and nothing could make her eyes move. Just like the last time, I'm still not used to saying goodbye. We live in a world where we'll always live without saying goodbyes properly. It's time to go. I had to play the bad guy and interrupt her. I took her hand and dragged her out of the room. In the distance, Tesla Zero was flickering with strange lights. I looked at Kongming and saw her lips quivered, but nothing came out. I nodded to her. See you in the not-so-distant future. Grand Chancellor. Huh? The festive celebration is about to start. The hour has already come? I'll be right there. Wait, where's Her Majesty? I was going to report it. We couldn't find Her Majesty anywhere in the city. Rita lifted her head and seemed to realize something. Ah. What's wrong, Grand Chancellor? Never mind. Her Majesty is probably out of the city looking for new adventures. Should we send guards to look for Her Majesty? There is no need. You're dismissed. After the guard left, Rita began to stroke the blanket and fixated her eyes on the blue fan by the window. Your Majesty. Oh, the fan! She left her fan! Looks like you're on a long journey now. Okay. Oh, that. I almost cried, but I held it. Oh, that.
Captain on bridge.
Oh. You're finally back. How's the past me doing? What should I say? You were a handful even as a small child. I'll take that as a compliment. After I leave tea here, events that involves you should end now. The seed was planted and the story is to be continued. The journey started with you but won't end with you. Even now, there are travelers like the Hyperion crew who have lost their footing in a bubble universe. to provide shelter for these children, I don't think that sums up the meaning of the journey. What exactly are you seeking? That. Huh, still so secretive. Sorry, it's a speculation of mine and only time can tell if it's right or wrong. If you say so, right? I've been archiving the observation data of bubble universes and I found a few curious points. I plan to compile a collection of reports based on the data and I'm going to name it Valkyrie Persona. Ahem, that sounds great. Huh, it's quite to my taste. Also, you seem to have a habit of recording the events after every mission, right? What? How do you know? Do I have to remind you what an accomplished astrologist is capable of? The AI database should have recovered every detail of past events, but I feel your account is more entertaining. For reference, these files should also have a name of their own. I'm thinking... Hold on, my friend. As the author, I feel I'm entitled to name the series myself. Huh. I'm certain mine is better, but I'll hear you out nevertheless. I pretended to think hard, and uncannily, the first thing that popped up was a story that I used to love reading. It's decided. I'm gonna call it Cap's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, that sums it up. I think there's no more kasi there said here max, so I can play until 2 days from now, but that sums it. Okay, that summarizes it. The day you vanish with the stars. We're expecting a more bubble universes and a lot of not disappointing, more like depressing ones. But hey, I didn't cry this time. Yes, leave a like if you like the video. This was a good bubble universe story. I can't wait for the next one. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the distant future, guys. Johnny!